Hello and thank you for joining us for our first Getting Ready to Learn information session and workshop. It is great to have you along. So today we are going to be thinking about language development and how we build upon and develop your child's language in nursery, and sharing some ideas of how you can do this at home. So this is through the Getting Ready to Learn theme, the Big Bedtime Read. So why should you read to your child? Well, long before children realise there's an existence of words or print on a page, they love the sound of language. So this is why when your child's a baby, or if you hold another baby, they look into your face and watch your lips, because children just have a natural curiosity. So always read to your child. Whenever I left school and went to teacher training college, there was a lecturer that I had, and we loved him. He was very eccentric, but really good. And he said to us, whenever we were just starting out on our 4-year journey, if you remember nothing else from this course, remember to read to your children every day from a very young age. And that is something that has lived with me and something that I've put into practice with my own children and now with your children in nursery. So children need to have a loving, trusted relationship before learning can happen. And so you have that automatically. We as nursery staff have been working really hard from your children's start at nursery to develop this. And so your children are now in a really good place to learn. So again, why do you read to your children? Well, it develops imagination, it stimulates curiosity, it opens up a world of places and things that children can experience that they might never or otherwise do. So when should you read to your children? Well, as this theme suggests, the Big Bedtime Read, bedtime is a brilliant time to get into that really good routine, to have some downtime to read to your child, but not only at bedtime. So we would suggest that at any time, if you are waiting to pick another child up from school, if you're in another person's house, if you've got some time to wait in wherever, a doctor's surgery or wherever, that's an absolutely brilliant time to read to your child. And so storybooks are wonderful. One of my favourite authors is Julia Donaldson. So in nursery we love her books, and I read these quite a lot to the children, so they would now be quite familiar to the children. And same in Mrs. Keaveney's room. Really good authors like this. So there's really good rhythm and rhyme and repetition in this. So that means that the children can remember it. You can leave blanks and get the children to fill in. But not only storybooks. So in nursery as well, we would have a wide variety of non-fiction. And a lot of boys especially would like non-fiction. So really good just to have the children reading these, or to you to read with them. Draw their attention to environmental print. So signs when you're out, these are our signs from our building site outside. So the children now know what these signs say. So if you're out in your car or if you're out walking, remember the environmental print as well. Even the Tesco or Sainsbury's sign or wherever else you are. A lot of clothes now has print on it, and we call this my happy jumper in nursery. So get the children reading the print on it. And usually boys and girls clothing has print on it. So this comes with a bit of a disclaimer though, because I encouraged my girls to do this, and so we get into a habit. If somebody said somebody was wearing a t-shirt, they would have said to me, what does it say? But once we were on a flight with a hen party and we were sitting near the front where the ladies were queuing to go to the toilets, and they were all queued up with very bright t-shirts with even more colourful language, and my girls were saying to me, Mummy, what does it say on their t-shirt? And on this occasion I had to say, well girls, we'll maybe just not read these words, but Mummy, you tell us always to read the print. True, but on this occasion we'll give it a miss. So, well, do so at your own risk. So get your children reading. Also, if you're out in a restaurant, or in these days if you're carrying out, we have the menu. So this is just a sample menu from nursery. So we get this every day from our canteen staff, and I always, and Mrs. Keaveney, read it with the children so that they just know that there is print on the page. So we said when to read to your child, where to read to your child, how often to read to your child. How long does a story need to be? Well, really as long as your child can last for. We would say no longer sitting in the child's age, so 5 minutes would be really stretching it for the children to sit and listen. Though if it's a really good story and they're engaged, by all means continue on. Don't feel you have to finish a story. Go with your child's need. If your child wants to stop, then you can stop, feel free. Familiar books are really good. Maybe your child has one particular book, maybe you know it off by heart. Maybe you try to leave out a few pages and they remind you of that. So when they get clever at that, you need to watch you're reading all the words. But just go with your child. Whenever you read to your child, whenever you take time, you're building connections in their brain, you're getting that lovely rapport and relationship with your child, which is so essential to language development. So in nursery, not only do we read, but we also sing with the children. Rhymes are so important. So they say, people who have done research into childhood development and reading say that children who know 4 nursery rhymes off by heart at the age of 4, when they become 8, they are successful readers. So it really is important that they're building up their vocabulary, that they are extending it, and that they are knowing. And also, as well as books, just chatting to your child. And I know we're all busy and we're all living in a digital era, and I'm guilty of this too, looking at my phone whenever my girls are speaking to me and they're old enough to say, could you put your phone away and concentrate on what I'm saying? And I sometimes say, you know, girls, I can multitask, and I know that that's wrong. So whenever we are speaking to our children, no matter what age they are, that we put our phone away and that we have a meaningful conversation, because it really does extend your children's language and do them the world of good. So your child is going to get home a little Polly Pocket with a book in it that they have chosen. And this is for your child to hide somewhere, for you to hide, somewhere in your house for your child to find, and then for you to read it together, just as a little activity, a little fun activity, not at bedtime, at some other time, just to introduce reading. So we're going to have a bit of extended holiday now from nursery. So get reading, get your child into a love of books, because you will not regret it. It's a super platform from learning. Thank you for joining with us today. Have fun hiding your books and looking for your books and reading together.